Welcome back to the Nita Black Show. Okay, this is one of my extreme pain days, but we're still gonna get through this. All right. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing to the channel and to the videos. I appreciate you guys buying the books and the excitement that you guys have about that. Okay, you guys have had all kind of questions about the video series, so I haven't even gotten through the whole series. But I'm going to try and answer some of your questions that keep popping up about the things that are going on in the industry. Today we're going to talk about the predator matrix. And a lot of you guys are saying, if there's all of these predators, pedophiles, all this stuff going on, then how is it able to stay under wraps? How is it able that the entire population don't know about these things? If all of these entertainers are being turned out, why is it that is still such a shock to people when they find out about it, because it's not known what's actually going on. So I'm going to try and get you guys to understand the predator matrix. If you guys have seen some of the stuff that's happened with um, let's take the Pope and the different things that go on with in the Catholic Church. And you guys have known for decades that these priests and were messing with little boys, that nuns were messing with little girls. You guys have known this stuff, but every time something happens, you don't look into how many people these priests have gotten to, how many children they've messed with, and then you don't track those children to find out if those children become predators themselves. So what typically happens is that you have the Pope and everybody in charge of the Catholic Church goes into this mode where they create this little ring of people that whose job it is to keep this stuff quiet. And because you guys hear about something and don't look further into it, or don't pay attention to the videos from people that are trying to tell you about it, it tends to be swept under the rug. And they just wait for you to forget about it. So you have the same thing with the people that were collecting crack babies back in the 80s. They were literally collecting these children. You had two homosexual males could go into the DFAC system, and they were fighting to be able to adopt little black boys. And you had two homosexual females was fighting to be able to adopt little girls. And they were actually preying on these children. They once they were able to adopt these children, they could do whatever they want. And many people now, have this thing where they say, well, uh, homosexuality, is not a mental illness. But for the majority of time, homosexuality was listed as a mental illness because it is not natural. It has to be something wrong for a male to decide he wants to be with another male and not with a female. There has to be something wrong for another female to decide she wants to be with another female and not with a male. So doctors knew that this was a mental illness, this was a mental issue. But what happened was you had so many people in higher up places that were into this stuff that all they had to do was go to a judge that they knew. You got a male judge that people know mess with young males or mess with little boys, and they would just blackmail these judges into voting the way, or ruling the way that they want them to rule. You had people that were new politicians that go after little boys or go after teenage boys, and they simply blackmail them into voting the way that the homosexual agenda wanted them to vote. So the predator matrix of the homosexual pedophile agenda created this situation where they simply went to the top people that were already in it, already doing these things, and threatened to expose them if they didn't vote a certain way or rule a certain way. And then the victims of, like I told you with the black entertainment industry, you had basically 12 white Jewish males that turned out hundreds of black male entertainers. And then those black male entertainers, after a number of years, became the predators themselves. And now you got little young black males going into the industry, and now they're not only having to have do all these sadistic things with these white males, but now they're having you got these black males that are trying to get to them first before the white males even get to them. And so there's this thing where they're going to get you anyway, but before they do, I need you to do this to me, or I need you to let me do this to you. And this is a psychological mental illness that is spreading through the industry, that is actually tearing these individuals apart. So once they do these things, they're in the industry. They get the money, they get the fame, they get the women that are throwing themselves at them because they don't know that they've done all these things. But what happens is their inner self, their insides, have basically been shattered. Their insides have died, and so they try to spend their time forgetting about the things that they did, whether that means drinking, drugs, both. Some of them will get with a bunch of women in order to prove that they still have their manhood, even though they've let several men do things to them, and they've done things to several men. You have females that in the industry, they're made to do all of these things to males, or made to do these things to other females. And what they tend to do is their self-esteem gets so low that basically anybody can get them. And you wonder, well, this entertainer, black entertainment female is, beautiful. She has money. She has all these different things. Why is she seem like her self-esteem is so low, and she's just getting with whoever? And that is what's going on with her. She has basically been put through the mill with so many people at these Hollywood parties that she doesn't feel that she is worthy of a good person. She doesn't feel that she's worthy of that happiness that she originally sought out to have. And then you see so many people that pretend to be happy, and they're actually miserable. Either the guy is miserable, the female is miserable, and this is in real life. Regular life stuff. So if in regular life, even if you are a regular person and not a celebrity, you're still caught up in this matrix of predators that get together, just because they don't want to be alone, or whatever the situations. It becomes a thing where everybody just be quiet and pretend that these things aren't happening. That's why it keeps going on. So our thing is to try and show people that sometimes it's okay, but not sometimes, it's always okay to wait for that person that you truly, truly love, that truly, truly loves you. And we're going to get into relationships because you guys have a lot of questions, but understanding that when somebody truly loves you, they don't do these things to you that people are doing. Okay, so I hope that answers at least a couple of your questions, and we're going to get into it. The shows have to be a certain time, a certain length, so that's why we have to go through them a little bit at a time. But we're going to get into some of the things that you guys are asking about. Just keep liking and subscribing, and we'll make sure that you get updates for the new videos whenever they come out. And I try to get a video out regularly. So hopefully that answers your questions. You know how I am, even when I'm in pain. If I'm still here, we're going to deal with some things. Bye.